All right, y'all. Good evening. Look who's back. This Miss Shirley O.G. Gardner, Zone 6B, Cleveland, Ohio. Had a wonderful vacation, trying to regroup and get things back to where they used to be. Let me turn that notification bell off because it'll be going off all night. Thanks everyone for stopping in. I see a lot of folks is hanging at Miss T with the T's live about gardeners asking questions, uh, new and old, about how to prep their yards. Good evening, Jeanette Cruising Homestead. See you here bright and early today. Thank you for stopping by. Cheryl Faulkner, hey. Mike. I was laughing at you with your Star Wars cards and versus your friend there. That was fun. Yes, thank you. Glad to be back. You know, you always love to go on vacation, but you also like to come home and sleep in your own bed. So that's what I missed, and I've been enjoying it ever since. Hey, Patty's Kitchen Garden and more. Thank you for stopping in this evening. Greatly appreciate. Yep, that's right, Mike. Tell him hit that like button and show me that you like me just a little bit and a lot. Backyard Gardening Flow 21. Thank you for coming in. Blue Lotus Vibes. I got you, girl. I got you. I'm going to just wait till a few more folks roll up in here because I know everybody's still hanging out at Miss T with the T, asking questions. Cassandra South Fulton, thank you for stopping in this evening. Greatly appreciate that. Everybody saying hello. Hey, Kay Renee. How are you? Yep, saying hello to everybody in the chat. The experience with Sassy. Hello, sweetie. What you say in the bushes at work, watching and listening? Hey, I ain't mad at you. Handle your business. Do what you got to do. I'm just glad you had a chance to stop in and stick. How do you say? Stick your head in, stick your head out. I appreciate you coming my way. I really do. Everybody saying hello to one another. Yep, they still asking questions. I got on my big flat screen with Miss T and CC and who is that? Nikki, PIA. They are broke. They got J3 and some other gentleman I'm not familiar with, but y'all seen it too. I had questions. Oh, there she go. Wait a minute, I had a piece of candy in my mouth. Didn't want to be rude. La 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 do do do. And I stopped there. Yeah, you've been missing it for the last 2 weeks, Lala. Good evening, sweetheart. Thank you for coming in. Hey, TLC in the garden. Hey, baby girl. Glad to see you made it in. Yep, I know everybody is going through a heat wave, but we're going through a cold wave. When I woke up this morning, it was 55 degrees and cold. Right now it's only 70 was the high for today. Yep, and it took it a while to reach 70. It almost took it to 2 o'clock to even get to that high. Yeah, so it's been really cold. So yeah, it's straight up hoodie weather. Yep. Well, Mike say you missed the song. Now you know, Mike, that song only went for so far. Just the intro. That was it. Yep. So you guys, let me tell you, Alaska is absolutely gorgeous. Oh my goodness. My sister, myself, and another friend of ours who travel together, we had a balcony cabin. And you know, the sun comes up at 4 o'clock in the morning in Alaska. So when I saw the light coming around the curtain, I was like, let me go check this out. And I pulled the curtain back, and you talking about mountains. Oh my gosh, they were majestic. They were absolutely gorgeous. Some had snow on what they call snow cap, and others had a lot of greenery. But for the most part, those things were just huge. I've never seen mountains like that before. And the water was so crisp and blue, and it looked cold, but it was just gorgeous to see the water. The first couple of days, it got a little rocky there. It was funny. You'll be, walking on the deck, and all of a sudden you'll go when the ship hit a wave. And you better say ship. You better not call it a boat. They get offended. From Saturday to Wednesday, gonna push 100. Zero rain. Well, it rained a little bit yesterday, a nice little sprinkle, but all the rest of this week is supposed to go up to 80, 85. So we're going from one extreme to the next. So it's just crazy. It's 90, but much cooler in the mornings now. Yeah, it's cool every morning here for the last 4 or 5 days. It's been. Hey, Angela's Gardening Delight. Thank you for stopping in this evening. Glad to see you took time out your day to stop by and say hello to this old lady. Make sure y'all hit that like button, y'all, so y'all can show me that you like me. Just a little bit will be greatly appreciated. Yes, the gardening family. Hey, Maria Graham. Oh, my goodness. I enjoyed my trip so much. I like the different ports that we stopped in. The first one was Icy Strait, and that's where I went on what they call it, a sky tram. It went back and forth through the area, and it was just waters. I mean, just water everywhere, and all kinds of food. They had plenty of bars around too. Kay Gill, hello. Thank you for stopping in. Glad to see you. Hey, Andel. Aunt Dilly, how are you, darling? Glad to see you able to stop in. I know everybody been jumping back and forth from me to Miss T with the T, so you probably got it going on more than one device. So yeah, we all do it. I know sometimes I have my phone, my laptop, which I'm on now, and a tablet, and I might have lid on one and broke on another one, and someone else on another one, according on who's popping up. So different times of the day. So you try to catch everybody. If you can't, you at least try to hit the replaying and show them some love, because that's what we're about. This is a garden community where everyone is here to help out each other. Not only just to give advice, but also for support, whether it's moral support or spiritual support. We all here trying to help one another. We're not trying to belittle anybody. We're not jealous. We're not going to dog anybody out. That's not our job. That's what trolls are for. That's what they do. We don't do that. That's what they do. Like I was listening to Led, and he was talking about how he had to get a bigger cornfield because the one he had was full. Certain videos he does, the trolls come out like as if somebody had buses running, waiting on them to jump on to roll up in there. So, yeah, they're everywhere and they're not about to stop. So, you deal with it and you keep it moving. Everybody's not going to like everything you have to say, whether they consider it beneficial or not. Um, You should take a lot. Oh yeah, I took a lot of pictures, and I'll be dropping videos. I'm not trying to drop them all at one time, so I can get enough views out of them. So yeah, because every day, we were either at sea or we were in a port. I think the first day was Icy Strait, the second day was Skagway, the third day was I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, Quechuan. And then the last one was actually crossed over into British Columbia, Canada. So you had to have your birth certificate or your passport, because if you got off, you couldn't get back on unless you had it. So yeah, but it was. Hey, Bammit, thank you for stopping in this evening. I know you don't normally stay long, but I appreciate you stopping by and letting us know that you care about me. So thank you, thank you very, very much. Um, Also, the weather was perfect, y'all. The guy on the first stop we made, he said we just missed 2 days of really bad weather, a lot of rain and high winds. We did run into a little high winds when we first left out of Seattle. We flew from Cleveland to Seattle and stayed in Seattle overnight, and then caught the ship the next morning because the hotel we were at, it was less than 10 minutes away, and they had shuttles that took us originally over there, and then they just had a chartered bus. It was 65 of us. Family and friends. We do this every other year, and we come from everywhere. Like 30 of us came from Ohio. Then we Alabama, Mississippi, Detroit, and my niece, her husband, and them. They came from, and a few of them went out to Seattle a day early just so they could check it out. And when we came back, we actually got back early to Seattle, and we had a tour guide, and he took us to the sam uh the salmon locks where the salmon swim upstream to spawn, and to the botanical gardens. I didn't take as many pictures there as I want because we were just talking and there was just so much to see. But I took some really nice videos of the seafood market, of the lobsters and shrimps and scampies, and oh my goodness, all kinds of the salmon and all kinds of fish and stuff. They got a market that's in Seattle that is awesome. They said they service, and this was a Thursday we was there, and it was crowded. And he said this is not crowded. He said that market serviced 18,000 people a day. And they had fresh cut flowers up the wazoo. Nikki would have been tickled pink to see all the flowers that, and Cece, y'all would have loved the flowers. They said that they so cheap up there. They had just bundles and bundles. I didn't even take any pictures of them. I was just in awe. But everybody that was in the market were buying flowers to put in their homes because they were, the bundles were relatively cheap, but they were absolutely gorgeous, just as fresh and as pretty as they wanted to be. We're having lots of rain now, the storm gone, but take down some of my fruit trees, but I will plant them back. Well, when I got back home, fortunately, here in my home personally, I didn't have an outage, but a lot of my friends did. Their lights went out on Thursday and they didn't come back till Sunday afternoon. They were out of electricity for like 3 and 4 days, you know. I was like, ooh, I'm glad it missed us. Um, okay. Well, I'm glad you're okay, Backyard Garden, that you're able to come on and tell us about it. So that's a good thing. You got through it. So, yes, I care about you more than a little bit. Oh, damn it. You make my heart. Just thank you. We did that same. Oh, you did? Okay. And they, when they dropped us off in Seattle, they were on their way to Australia. Yeah. Hey, Gina versus Gina. How are you, sweetie? Um, it was a good time had by all, though. We had a white night. We had Captain's Night where we dressed up with gowns and stuff and got real cute. We had a separate dress up night for just our group. Um, they had a lot of parties. They had a lot of game shows. They did Deal or No Deal in one of the auditoriums. That was really nice where they had, you know, the suitcases where you try to guess, you know, pick out the numbers to see if you can get the biggest amount of money. And they had the guy that they didn't show his face and they showed the banker, that's what they call him. And the banker, he get on and he then they flash numbers on there. The guy didn't win. And his wife kept telling him to shut up and don't add any more numbers, and he kept doing it. And out of a possible $1,500 he could have got, he got $5. So at the last one, she said, "Oh, go ahead and call it. You're gonna do it anyway." It was hilarious, but yeah, and we found out just how many people on that boat had rhythm. Okay, because I don't know if y'all saw that last video where I showed us out there uh, doing a little do your dance, do you? Yeah, they was out there. I was like, oh, Sookie, Sookie. They was out there trying to jam a little bit. Yes, indeed. And then we had an oldie but goodie night. We had one for the 90s, one for the 80s, and one for the 70s. Boy, we partied like rock stars. It was so much fun. How many of us mature people remember a lot of them songs and dances? We was doing Soul Train lines, doing a Congo line on the deck. And oh man, we just had a well, I really had a good time. I enjoyed it. G Mama Grows. Hey, oh, we got a chance to see otters. We did see some whale sightings. I got maybe the tail end of a whale going in a couple of times, but I didn't go on the excursion for whale watching. A few people in our group did, and they got some really nice pictures of whales that did show up. But for the rest of us, they said, you can sit out on your balcony, which we did, and we saw whales, come past the balcony sitting out there, and that was cool having a balcony. I don't think I ever want a cabin again on a ship without a balcony because it was really nice. Let's see. I met some real people that was born and raised in Alaska. A couple of ladies were all the same age, and I asked them could I take a picture, and I did a short video on them as well. And then when I did the SkyTran, I met a family from Idaho. And yes, if you've seen the video, I posted that. They were fun. And then I ran into them again on the ship, and they knew my name right away. The first thing I could hear, hey, Miss Shirley, which was really cute. I enjoyed that. And I told them to subscribe to my channel. Anybody I was talking to, I was telling them to subscribe. So yeah, we had a good time. It's just that it messes up your body, the time change, because when you got to Seattle, they're 3 hours behind us here in Ohio. So when it was 11 o'clock there, it was only 8 o'clock. And it was like you didn't know whether to lay down or get up. I was getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, which I would normally do if I was home, but it was only like 3 o'clock there. And it was just like, oh, and I I asked my sister, you woke? She's like, yeah. So it took our bodies a minute to adjust. And then once we crossed over a certain territory in Alaska, your clock got turned back another hour. So I'm still trying to readjust my time with Alaska's time. So yeah. Yeah, G Mama. We had everybody out there doing the soul train. I was dancing and they took a video of me dancing with this guy from Sweden. Didn't understand him and he didn't understand me, but music was the mutual. It brought us together. And when I was out there dancing, he jumped up and he did one of his little thing. I was like, okay. Caught me off guard, but he was all right though. And they were laughing. So we really had a good time. When Jeanette said, I insist on balconies, otherwise asleep forever. And it's great to sit out and listen to the waters and see the stuff in the ocean and the birds. But I have never been to Alaska. Yeah. I know a lot of people who said they had wanted to take the excursion to Alaska and hasn't done it yet, but that's on their bucket list. Well, I can check that off. Yeah, so we really had a good time. Flying is on my avoid list. Oh yeah, it was 4.5 hours from here there straight shot, but we got back in 3.5. He was flying. You could feel the speed of the plane coming back home, like as if he wanted to hurry and get home too. Yeah, we had a good time. A few things I've been checking out. Uh, Cheryl, I was laughing at you, Cheryl Faulkner, when you got your new knife, that Japanese knife. Those are nice. I've seen those before. I like those, but those things are expensive. They are not cheap. And you got a really nice one. And you just talking and got your hand and you shaking out seeds. We never saw the pot you put them in, but we saw you shaking out seeds and taking one and you was putting them in there. I was like, she talking and working, talking and working. I thought that was so cute. You got the job done though, but I like that knife and you was working it too. I was like, yeah, she acting like she didn't did this before. Yes, indeedy. Um, Let's see what else. Uh oh, Gina, I was laughing when I saw that shirt with TT talking about she had your purse, she had your money. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, y'all know y'all silly. Those fancy horny knife. Yeah, Mike. um, let's see. Oh, I hope all, if there's any Floridians in here, I hope they are safe because I know that storm got downsized to a tropical storm, but they said it hit Florida first before it downsized. So I know it did some damage before it moved on. So I hope that if there's anyone here that can hear me and they are Floridians or wherever the storm has become intense, I hope you are safe. I hope your family is safe. And hopefully later on in the week, we'll hear from you letting us know that you're okay. We just say, sure, that knife is great. I know it is. Girl, I'm looking at the serrated edges on there. It's got the inside measurements on the depth on it. It's got a lot of info on it. Nice handle on it. So I know you can do some damage with that knife. Lo- as long as no one roll up on you while you got it in your hand, they'll live to tell it. And if so, you'll probably plant them out there somewhere. Um, I don't know. Cheryl, did you send me your address? Because I heard how much you like okra, and I got some okra seeds that you more than welcome to that I can send them to you. Just email me your address. Oh, backyard garden? Okay. You're in Florida? Well, I'm like I said, I'm glad to see that you're safe and sound and you're able to talk to us. I hope you didn't sustain too much damage other than a fruit tree here and there. Because I know them high winds ain't no joke. They knocked over a few here too. We had those high winds too. They knocked off some plants off my balcony and stuff up here, but you know, we can live through that as long as there wasn't loss of life. That's my biggest concern. Hey, Audacity Donning. Thank you for stopping in this evening. Glad to see you there. Everybody saying hello. Okay, thank you, dear. Please do. We go to a cruise on September 2nd on Mardi Gras. Okay. Just Dorsha. Hey, girl. How are you? Thank you for stopping in. Glad to see you. I know you're a busy lady. You just been busy, busy, busy. I'm glad to see that you had enough time to stop in and say hello to everybody. And as they say, peekaboo. Dorsha, I'm glad you were able to stop by. Everybody saying hello to one another. Um, Blue Lotus, are you still in here? I wanna thank you so much once again for you taking time out of your day uh, to make something for me. It came while I was on my cruise, so I was hoping it would come before then, but it didn't. So I got it when I got home, and I had been busy trying to get things together. Oh, by the way, and I'm gonna put it in my community page. Everybody, thank you so much who prayed for my great granddaughter. Before I left, my granddaughter let me see her before I left. She was in the newborn NICU for a minute there. She was having some problems with eating. Well, not only is she home, my granddaughter sent me a new picture of her. They took out the feeding tube and she's eating on her own and she's picking up weight. So, for all the prayers that you guys put out to pray for my great grandbaby, she just turned 3 weeks old. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. I really do. Okay, Blue Lotus. All right. This is for you, baby girl. All right, y'all. Don't get any ideas, okay? I'm still a lady. All right, so you know. But da 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 there. Look at there. Show me that you like me just a little bit. And subscribe. Got a pillow. I'm sitting on. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for my shirt. I just love it, love it, love. And you know, every girl, girly girl, love a little bling. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy, indeedy, indeed. So thank you so much for the shirt. Thank you so much. Also for the folks that's in here, drop your grow zone, drop your channels. MSOG. Let folks know where you're at. Oh, it's past very nice, Cheryl. It's got subscribe on the back. I don't know if I'm gonna go back out of town again real soon, but if I do, I'm wearing this shirt and I'm sporting it like you wouldn't believe. I'll be like a human billboard, walking everybody. I thought I thought I only needed 3 to get to 700. It was 33, but I'm down to about 10 or 11, and then I will hit 700. Yeah, it is, Maria. It's very nice. It's soft. Yeah, I love it. It's just ooh. Yep, yep, yep. G Mama got to have that bling. Bling bling. Yes, indeedy. So I really enjoy it. I don't like it. I love it. Thank you so much. Can't you tell by the smile on my face how much I enjoy it? I really do. I was trying to match up like the earrings with the lipstick and little chapeau to kind of bring the outfit together there. So yeah. All right, everybody dropping channels. Okay, Gil, thank you very much. Yeah, drop your channels, drop your grow zones. Let folks know where you're at. We got old gardeners in here. We got new gardeners in here. We got gardeners in all different stages. As I was listening to someone who's asking a question about cover crops in the garden, well, you know that you can use more than just beans. You can use clover, you can use buckwheat. There's a lot of different cover crops that the farmers use. And it wasn't only just to add nitrogen to the soil, but it was also to help erosion from heavy rains or snows, high winds, and reshaping their farming areas. So they had more than just the use in regards to covering your soil to enrich it for the following year. It had a lot of other meaningful properties as well. Dusty Dawn in 6B. Oh, I didn't know you was in 6B. Okay. What state are you in? Okay. When you add your growth zone, also add your states because 6B can go a long way. I know, like, who is that? Uh, hmm. Miss T is in 6B, 7A. Michael Farmer's in 6B. I think also Nikki might be in 6B. The folks in Connecticut. So, yeah, that's right, G Mama. Tell them to turn on that notification so they keep them show me that they like me. Just a little bit will be greatly appreciated. So yeah, so you got a lot of people. Oh, you're in Missouri. Oh, you know what? I forgot about Missouri. You don't hear people talk about Missouri too much. So yeah, okay, I didn't know that. Oh, 6B. See, I learned something new tonight. My mom said you should learn something new every single day. If you don't learn something new every day, you're running your mouth too much and you're not listening to what's going on around you. Yeah, but I did not know that. Soil sister. Hey, how are you, girlfriend? Yes, indeedy. I started cover cropping when I started growing outside. The soil really responds well. Yeah. And not only that, if you don't have any seeds for cover crops, your leaves. I took all my neighbors' leaves, dry leaves, and I piled them up on top of my garden beds and they were piled up this high. By the time winter hit, they were almost ground level. That the weight of the snow and rain and stuff compacted them and compressed them, and it saved on any new weed seeds that might float and sit on top of your leaves. It kept the moisture in the ground. If you had worms in there, the worms were coming up to get the what's the word I'm looking for? From the decomposing leaves, because decomposing leaves is nothing but compost in its most natural form. So they would take the leaves and pull them back down through the holes, and that improves aeration and also drainage in your garden. And it added nutrients to it too. You get a lot of nutrients from leaves. Country Hustle 101. Thank you so much for stopping in. Our section C feels like October already. Time for greens. Yeah, this is the best time now to drop all your greens. Um, your collards, your mustards, your turnips. Yeah, they're cool weather crops. So this is the best time to really get them in there. And we're supposed to get anywhere between 85 to 90 degrees all this week. Yeah, after having all this cold weather this week. So this is the cold and flu season when you got temperatures that's constantly dropping more than 20 to 25 degrees every other day. So you got to watch out for COVID's on the rise again. And like I said, flu and anything else that's got the heebie-jeebie germs, floating around here. So you need to be careful in regards to that. And this is why you need to eat healthy, because it helps build up your immune system as well. You can help fight off a lot of stuff. Even if you catch it, it'll be mild because you have gotten your immune system built to a certain level that you don't take the full blunt of whatever you might catch, and you might get through it a lot quicker. So that's why you need to keep up with your vitamins and your minerals, or eat stuff that's high in iron and vitamin C and B. Especially here in the north, we're considered high in deficiency of vitamin D because we have such a short summer, and we're in a lot of the snow, and the level of depression in people go up. Um, I was overwhelmingly surprised how many people get depressed come winter time when that sunshine is not on the regular. So, like I said, we will lack vitamin D. So, try to get as much vitamin D now as possible, and then start popping the supplement to kind of build up your system, because winter is coming, and so it's all the germs and stuff that comes along with it. K Gill, you're in Ohio? That's nice. What part of Ohio? I'm in Cleveland. All right. So what part of Ohio are you in? TLC's in Cleveland. We're not far from one another. I think G Mama, she might still be in Cleveland. I know she moved, but I know she stayed in Ohio or she moved out of state. You got Gina versus Gina here. You got Vision Preparedness. They're not all in Cleveland, but they're all in Ohio. You got You Grow Row. You got a lot of folks in here. Folks be talking about all the folks that's from Georgia and Texas that's in the chats. Well, you got a lot of folks here in Ohio too. Originally Liv Farmer was from Toledo, so he's moving now from South Carolina to Florida, but he's an original uh, Ohioan. So, yeah. All right, K Gill, you're on the east side. I'm on the east side too. Yeah. Uh, Netta Ness, thank you. Salutations all. Thank you for stopping in this evening. Glad to see that you were able. I'm so ready for the fall garden. I hope the hot spell doesn't last. Well, like they said, be careful what you ask for. You just might get it, because sometimes you can go from one extreme to the next. Then you end up on the short end of the stick. Whereas you start something and then it might not get a chance to finish because of the constant change in the weather. What people fail to realize is that when the weather goes up and down, it doesn't just affect you. it affects your plants too. All right, like I said, it's been cool weather here, and um, I've been trying to grow okra. Right now, I'm fighting the deer. They didn't ate all the leaves off of it. I had a few flowers. I went out there to take a look at the garden before I came in and found out the flowers is missing now. So I didn't get okra last year, and don't look like I'm gonna get it this year. And the killing part, I had more than one plant, and they weren't all planted together. So they seemed to like a missile. They found my okra and ate all the leaves off my watermelon vine. They ate all the leaves off my, what else was over there? Cucumbers. Um, they're going after some of my melons. They've been eating off the tops of my tomato plants. So they've been tapping my garden, and I grabbed a couple of tomatoes today out of the yard. They started blushing. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna wait for these to turn. I snatched them with the quickness. Okay. So yeah, they don't mess with the peppers, my bell peppers. They don't mess with the hot peppers, but everything else they didn't tap. Would you say, Gma? Oh, okay, you're in Columbus. Oh, you ain't but 2 hours away from me. Okay, I didn't know you was quite that close. Yes, G Mama, tell him Cash App. Mama broke. I want to buy some more chicken wires, some other stuff too. For oh man, that's what I meant to get. Someone told me they had some chicken wire for me today, and they came over here today. They didn't bring it, and I didn't think about it. I'll get it. Tia Drumgo, good evening. Thank you for stopping in this evening. Greatly appreciate that. Jeanette cruising. All right, you're in Georgia 8A, so it's still hot down there, huh? What else I was looking for? Oh, I was laughing at Leah talking about Randy the raccoon. Well, I got one here. I got a raccoon here. He a big bad boy. You need a 9 mil for him. But I call him Leroy because he straight look like he could that he could lean up against the house and smoke a cigarette. Yeah, he a big boy. I don't even mess with him. When I come outside, he look at me. I nod at him. He nod back at me, and I go back in the house until he leaves. He just too big for me to mess with. You got to go out there packing for him. Yes, indeed. He ain't no joke. The squirrels gave my mangoes the business. It was a battle. They got my peaches. I got a couple of peaches, but I kept watching these couple of peaches that was on after I was listening to Nikki talk about how she went out and grabbed all her peaches before she had problems with the squirrels eating hers. I went out there. I had netting over them. A couple of them I got, but somehow they got up under there and they got the last one because I had one on there and I kept squeezing it every day. It was still hard. It was still hard. The color was changing, but it hadn't softened up yet. That one day that I was going to go out there and get it, it was gone. And the killer part about it, not only did they take it off the tree, they ate it there and they left the pit. The pit was completely clean. It did not have a lick of flesh on it. It was almost as if you had boiled it in water. It was completely smooth. I have never seen a pit that clean after an animal had eaten it. It was almost as if he cracked the peach open and took the pit out without anything being on it and just popped the rest of it in his mouth. I was just stunned to see the pit laying on the ground. I was like, wow. I didn't even think that was possible, but I stand corrected. Yeah. Uh, hey, Gloria Elliott, thank you for stopping in this evening. I greatly appreciate you coming by and saying hello. What else I had on here? Oh, I was watching You Grow Row. I guess she was trying what she call it wet seasoning, where she added all these different seasonings and herbs and vegetables out of her garden to help make a rub to I guess for jerk chicken or whatever. And I mean that girl put everything in there but the kitchen sink. But there was this one tool for the people who saw the video. Did y'all see the tool that she used for her tomato? How it opened up and went down in the middle, and she twisted it and pulled all the seeds and stuff out of it. What they call it, the core of that tomato. I thought that was so cool. Some of you guys have some really cool gadgets when you're in your kitchen and showing us what you're making and how to. Because she had another little scoop too that she was using inside the peppers to scoop the seeds out as well. So, you know, y'all come up with some cool gadgets. And just like, when y'all do that, I wish I would put in description what it is, what's the name of it, so we can look it up and buy it. Cause some of that stuff is a time saver. I like it. Hey, Psalms 146. How are you, sweetheart? Decide to step over to the dark side. I appreciate you coming in. These creatures are getting creative. Oh yeah, I have there's a fence that separates the house next door to the garden. And under the fence, there's been a concave part up under the fence where the groundhogs and the raccoons been going up under the fence coming in the garden. So I pushed a really big rock over there. I couldn't even pick it up. I had to kind of keep working it and pushing it with my foot until I got it over to the hole. They pulled that stone up out of that hole like nothing, like it was nothing. So what I've been doing is, hey, resilient dad. Hey, I know you talking. Stop tapping in from the bay. Thank you. Um, I've been taking glass and breaking it up into real fine slivers and been putting it around it. And they got mad because yeah, when them little soft paws hit that glass, they back up real quick. So yeah, you got to kind of get creative with some of these animals. I can't sit out there with a shotgun across my lap because if I did, everybody would be eating venison because they've been really raiding my apple tree tough. Oh my goodness, they've been raiding my apple tree like it's supermarket sweet. Ah, they making me mad. That's right, G Mama. Let them know. MSOG, drop your growth zone. Let everybody know what state you're in so they can come check out your videos, see what you're growing, see what you're dropping for your fall gardens. Everybody's not dropping the same thing. Our fall growing time is cold and short, whereas in a lot of places that's having the heat, um, you can germinate your fall seeds a lot faster now because of the heat and put them out in the yard. Whereas we might in the cooler regions that we're in might take a little longer for them to germinate. So this week will be the best time to drop some seeds here in Northeast Ohio because it's supposed to be up in the 80s, close to 90s. So they might get a chance to germinate before the temperature drops again. But by that time, hopefully they'll acclimate enough that they can just take off and keep on growing until the weather gets too cold for them to do so. Catskills Mountains, 5A. So, our sister, do you have a raccoon hat with the raccoon tail hanging in the back? Yeah, and I was laughing at CC talking about she can grow bok choy and what's the other one? Bok choy and pak choy, but she couldn't grow spinach. It's just some things you just better at than others. And once she learn how to do that, though, she gonna be growing it up the wazoo. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Sam. You're a little under the weather today with strep throat. Ooh, oh, that makes my throat hurt just thinking about it. Excuse me, but I just got my prescription and should be feeling better in a few days. Thanks for asking. How are you? Welcome back. I caught a little short bug for a minute. I was down for a day. I didn't want to go nowhere. I didn't want to do nothing. I just wanted to sleep all day. And my sister took good care of me. She made sure she pushed a lot of fluids and they had the chicken noodle soup and wonton soup. And within a day I was good. I was back up and moving around. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was 48-hour bug or what, but it had me down for a hot minute. But you can't keep a good woman down. I bounced back. I'm leaving to grow on a patio this season. Oh, you're learning. I'm sorry. I'm learning to grow on a patio this season. That's okay. As long as you got a pot or two or three, and you can put stuff in it, keep it watered, keep the weeds out, add a trellis if you need to. You'll be all right. Yeah. Psalms, take care of yourselves. What you say? Raccoons aren't the problem, but the bears and deer are. I don't have bears, but I got everything else. I got deer, possum, raccoons, groundhogs, herons, hawks, crows, ravens, two-legged folks. Yeah, I got all kinds of problems. Vision preparedness. Mr. VP himself stops in to say hello. Yeah, I'm feeling better. Still got a little residual here, but I'm a lot better than what I was. Yeah. I was so nasal I couldn't even hear myself at one point. But I feel so much better now. I tell you, this is the season. Cause when we left Seattle, it was like 85 degrees. We were sweating. We was in tank tops and t-shirts. Then when we were on the ship and we did embarkment, and the further we got out, it kept getting cooler and cooler. Within a couple of hours, it had dropped like 30 degrees. You was looking for coats, hats, almost gloves out there on that water. To seem like the further out we got, the colder it got. So yeah, I think a lot of folks might have got sick just going that 30-degree drop in the temperature by itself. A resilient dad, Cheryl. I love seeing you every time. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That's not even my conversation. Uh, all right, resilient dad. We know you pop in and pop out. So I'm glad. I'm just glad that you took time out your busy schedule to pop in here. I just want to show vision preparedness and a resilient dad. You guys might not have been here earlier, but look at the beautiful shirt that I got from Blue Lotus Vibes. Okay, and it says, "Ah, you say it. Show me that you like me, just a little bit." And then on the back, she's got. Can you see it? Subscribe. So it's just showing me and a lot of you new folks just how talented of people that we have in our garden community. It's not all about growing stuff as far as vegetables and fruit trees and stuff. We growing friendships. We're growing a community of talented artists. And I just love it. We got Unbiased LLC. We got Crafty Leo. We got Blue Look. We have what's it? Mm, G Quad. We have so many talented, and that's a short list. We got a long list of women in our community that are excellent at what they do. So they garden on the side, but their professions are unlimited. Unlimited. So we always got someone we can go to. Maybe all that weather changing caused that. Yeah, I can believe that because not only that, my sleep was all messed up. Because, like I said, when I was waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning, our time here it was only 3 o'clock there. So I wasn't getting enough sleep. And I'm going to take a nap after. I might not see anybody else tonight because I might be knocked out. Oh, no, it's all love. I'm married. Yeah, I know. That much I did know. I did know you was married. I being said I wasn't even going that way. Yeah. So that's what I like about our community. And not only that, we got 2A, we got preppers. Man, that list is so long. I couldn't get to the bottom of all the people that we have here that does everything. You know, we got attorneys, we got mental health specialists, we got IT. Like I said, we got the 2A community, we got preppers, we got crafters. Um, we have people like make this video go viral. All right, she keep us up to date on the new laws and updates on YouTube. You know, you got motivation of the weightlifting geek. He's showing you how that he tries to balance out not only work at home but time for himself. You know, I mean, we got all kinds of folks here in this community. I don't think there's a field in our community that someone doesn't cover. You know, I mean, if you ask or if you keep talking long enough and people see your comments, they're going to drop a name. You know, email me, call me, check out such and such video, listen to this person. They have references. Yeah, Blue Lotus did this. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Um, Miss T with the T kept the ball rolling after they made the road for Broke Farmer. And then I was next on the list for the shirt, and they came through like gangbusters. I mean, they do what they say they're going to do. They're not all talk, they're facts. They'll take care of business. They will hound you to get your phone number and your address to make sure you get what you need or what they want you to have. What I love about our community, we love on one another without putting price tags on everything. It might send you some, all they might be asking is for shipping, which is reasonable because shipping is not cheap. All right. And all they got to do is hear you say something. It's like, oh, is that all you need? Call me, email me, hit me out. Uh-uh. Just love it. That's what I love about our community. Oh, I forgot about my Amazon wish list. Thank you, G Mama. Did my girl forgive you, traveling? No, she's still salty with me. Annie been following me around and just yeah, 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 yeah. And every time I put my hand down or my foot down, she's doing one of these. And I'm just like, come on, girl, give mommy a break. Mom tired. And she, yeah, 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 yeah. She's still fussing. No, Mike, she hasn't forgiven me. My neighbor said he came down to feed her and make sure she had fresh water. She wouldn't even talk to him. She was just salty. I've never been away from my cat that long, and her jaws was tight. When I walked in my kitchen door, she was sitting there looking at me. Woo! My cat was salty. Like, how dare you be gone this long? Yeah, but she'll get over it. I've been trying to spoil her, so yeah. All love vision been busy. Okay. Oh, me and talk. Yeah, she couldn't go. Said Retirement. Hello, sweetie. Glad you made it in this evening. Thank you for stopping by. What I also like about our community, we share it out. We share out each other's videos. We give references to one another. If there's someone that you know that you really enjoy, you're gonna talk them up. You're gonna build them up. You're gonna let folks know what they about. You're gonna tell them go check them out. Like they said, we're not asking you to subscribe to everyone that we refer you to. We leave that up to you. You can go check it out for yourself and see if that's what you want, or is that something that you desire to try or do, or if you feel that this individual has what you want, then it's up to you to subscribe and be on the regular with that individual. And you can do the same thing. You can share them out, or you can refer them to other folks to come in and check them out and see for themselves whether or not this is what you want, because not everything is for everybody. You know, if I'm in zone 6B and you're in 8B, quite naturally our zones is not going to grow the same thing for the same amount or length of time. So you would preferably try to get someone in your same grow zone. so that you'll be on the same queue and might be able to go to the same stores because down south, y'all, your Home Depots and Lowe's stores carry stuff we don't carry up here because we're in Northeast Ohio where it snows and ice and freezes and gets cold. So, therefore, you're not going to see a bunch of fruit trees lined up in there. You might see them in the spring for about a month, and then once they're gone, you don't see them anymore. Very seldom you'll have clearance sales where you can get stuff marked off in the fall because we don't have that type of weather here. So it depends on where you live at, makes a difference on what products you carry. I was watching Beauty in the Garden, and she was going through her local big box store and doing videos. I was like, we don't carry that stuff up here up north, not even in the spring. So it's just crazy in regards to what grow zone you live in or what state live in, um, determines whether or not they carry that particular product. Whereas you can go to the store freely and get it, we got to order it. We got to go online. We got to find a nursery like Bottom's Nursery or something like that, or either go on Etsy or Amazon and order the stuff, not unless you send me a cutting from your own personal stash. So, depending on where you live at, depends on what you might grow in your garden. And since a lot of people are getting away from starts and making the solo cups rich by buying them and dropping your own seeds, as Stacy called making a black depot, and just like Miss Linda, New Orleans gardener, where she got her red cups and how she'll sit them in a spot where she wants to plant whatever comes out of that cup. So everyone has their own way of planting and caring for their yard. Hey, Crafty Mom Creations, thank you for stopping in this evening. Glad you were able to come our way. Lisa White, thank you, dear. I'm glad you could make it through this evening, even if it's for a hot minute. Okay, so Resilient Dad says Zone 10B hit different. That's what inspired me to grow hydroponics. Exactly. And come this fall, oh, they blowing up hydroponics. I've seen so many females in our garden community that's gotten hydroponics and taken it to a whole new level. I was watching You Grow Road the other day where she had to put chicken wire down around the bottom to keep the cat from chewing on the leaves in hers. But hers was looking nice. She's like, she got tomatoes already that got flowers on them. They're getting ready to fruit already. So, ladies have been stepping up their A game on the hydroponics. You know what I'm saying? Did I see growing what I eat? Hey, huh, my country bumpkin. What's up? How are you? So glad you was able to stop in this evening. And God desires for me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I saw that. I appreciate you. I hope you like my content. Okay, what Netta said, my big box H Depot has some tired citrus trees and will not drop the price. Seldom has any garden stuff on sale. Yeah, it's true that. I went in there once and I seen a tree that looked like it was on its last limb. And I told them how much. They told me $26. I was like, in your dreams, boo boo. No, no, you got to come down off the price for that. All you're gonna do is throw it in the dumpster, and I'm gonna go in the dumpster and get it out. He said I give it to you for 15. I was like, you ain't got low enough yet, boo. He said 5. I sat out the door. And it's doing real good. I done up potted it and fertilized it to death, and it looks so good now. LP, how you be? Listening and lurking. I hear you. I ain't mad at you. I'm glad you took time to step over and say hello to me. I really do. And guys, during the course of each week, I'm not gonna put them all out at one time, but I did a couple of videos today from the garden. But I'm gonna throw in some of the what they call it, landscaping and port of calls from my Alaska trip as well. I wanted to do a live when I was in Alaska, but I didn't get that internet package, and they tell you to put it on airplane mode so you don't have no roaming charges. So every time I got to a port, I was able to take off the airplane mode and record whatever port I was in, the information and sightseeing that I did, and then put the airplane mode back on before I got back on the ship. So, yeah. So, you'll be getting bits and pieces of the trip as the weeks go on. Let's see what else I got to talk about. Oh, I was also watching Led and the campers, how they was taking a walk and a hike through the woods, and how people watched them to see that many people together without acting a fool and just enjoying each other's company and being preppers. People wig out when they don't see certain groups of people acting a fool, so to speak. Some of us know how to act once we walk outside our doors, regardless of what color, nationality, or ethnicity you are. That when you get together with a group of people, you're all in harmony with one another, that you can survive and promote and help one another, which I thought was really nice and amazing. And then I also love that one video of him and Princess Leia. That was precious because that's his only girl. And I was like, that's daddy's girl all the way. She was just screaming and bubbling, sitting next to her daddy, and he was grinning, skinning just as hard as she was. And I thought that was just so cute because that's the way I feel when I have my granddaughter with me. A lot of people think she's my daughter. I was like, no, it's my granddaughter. And it was just like, y'all finna cheat each other's sentence. I was like, yeah, well, when you love your family, you can do that. Yeah. Hey, Yankee sister, how are you, darling? Thank you for stopping in this evening. I'm doing much better. I'm feeling much better. Excuse me. I can hear myself now. My ears took 2 days to pop. Oh, I hated that. You know how you try to blow your nose when your ears are stopped up and oh, it hurts the pain. And then sometimes one ear pop and the other one won't. Whew, I'm glad all that's gone. Still a little nasal, but I'm a whole lot better than what I was last week. And I did get tested for COVID because some folks did get COVID. I didn't get it. I was like, phew, thank you. Yes, indeed. Everybody saying hello to one another. Hey, Grower Hudson, you slid on in there. All righty. Thank you, sweetie. I know everybody's going to be blowing you up saying hello to you as well. Ooh, Mike. No, they hadn't gotten that bad, but it was hurting at one point. You, my sister was leaning up and she had the window seat and she was sitting over there like this here. Her ear was hurting. Yeah. Got wife got it, went to the lungs. Ooh, ouch. Oh, that's dangerous. Well, I'm glad she's okay. Yeah, it's rough out here. It's so rough out here. And this is why we need to stay healthy. That is our biggest thing right now is staying healthy. And by us eating what we grow makes that so much easier on our body. It makes it so much easier on our stomachs, our kidneys, our liver, our lungs, our blood. Once you start eating healthy, it automatically flushes your system out on a regular and keep your fluids up as well. Being dehydrated is no joke. People think just being dehydrated just means you're thirsty. No, being dehydrated means you can start acting real crazy because you got an imbalance in your brain, all right, from lack of oxygen because you're not getting enough water and fluids moving stuff around. People think just because you're thirsty and dehydrated, all you can do is drink some water and you'll be all right. No, there's a little more to it than that. That's why people is telling you to add a little salt for your electrolytes or a little sugar if you got low blood pressure or I'm hyperglycemic, so I have to watch. I have to eat. So yeah, it's a whole lot of stuff that goes on from just not drinking water. And right now, I'm thirsty and I'm going to drink some. Woohoo. Yeah, mouth is getting a little bit too dry. I need to get out and harvest some of my um, echinacea, but I have no idea when or how. Um, you can have the roots of the echinacea. The whole plant is really edible, and you can make tea out of the leaves. Finches love the seeds from it, and they plant echinacea all over my yard because it pops up in places I didn't put it. Thank you, Angela. I'm kind of glad I'm back too. Yeah. I don't care where you go and enjoy and how much of a good time you have. It's like Dorothy. I clicked my heels 3 times and said, it's no place like home. It's no place like home. It's no place like home. Water is your kidney's best friend. Yeah. And I've heard that if you add a little baking soda to that water too, as well, Lisa, that helps flush out your kidneys as well. Kind of detox some of the yucky stuff that's around it. Eating high water content foods is good for you too. Yeah, I know. And see, the only thing about it is though, I was tearing up some watermelon, and watermelon, well, hence the name water melon, had me peeing all night long. I was like, I got to watch when I eat watermelon. I got to eat it during the daytime hours. So at night when I lay down, I can sleep. So yeah. Uh, did you enjoy that bok choy? All right. Oh, you talking to somebody else? Okay. Because I haven't had any lately. I'm overdue on the bok choy. When you need to pop your ears, try sucking on something very sour like a lemon head candies. Oh, only if you got it with you. Like when you on the plane, that's when I need them the most. But next time I go flying, that's what I will do. Erica Taylor, I saw you earlier on someone else's live. You're new to the garden community? Because, yeah, welcome to mine. I appreciate you stopping in. What you say? You put your hummingbird feeder out and saw my first hummingbird last week because of you. Yeah, I saw Fred and Ethel. Normally I just see one or the other, but I've been seeing both of them. So yeah, thank you. Well, honey, that's not me. You just provided the right environment for them, and they smelled it and they came out. And make sure don't put no red stuff in it. Just plain sugar and water. Okay, don't add anything else to it because that would be detrimental to the hummingbirds. I have flowers out there to supplement as well as the hummingbird feeder. So that's all you need. And watermelon also had lots of sugar too. Yeah, it does. Only if it's sweet. Yeah, so I was just trying to read what folks are saying. Oh, okay. So I'm saying hello to Erica. Hey, Odom, how are you? You still getting it off your chest tonight, Odom? Oh, Bayou Suge. Hey, sister on my mind. Sister, you're one of a kind. Sister, I'm saving my love for you. Okay. Hi, Miss Shirley OG. Oh, Grace Grimes. Hey, hon, how are you? How are you? Thank you. Mike said your hummingbirds is mad at you. He flew up to me and I was watering right away. Right into well, yeah, I'll be a little salty at you too. I did sugar and water like you were talking about 50-50. Yeah, and what's also good if you throw in some cucumbers or celery juice. All of that's good. Yeah. Anything natural, organic stuff that you could assimilate, something that your body can break down easily, not that synthetic stuff. When you start dealing with that synthetic stuff, that's when you start having issues. GT, all right. I see Miss T with the T is finally also everybody sliding over here saying hi. GT, yeah. I was telling them in regards to on my cruise, we went to Icy Strait, Skagway, I think it's Quechuan, and British Columbia, Victoria in Canada. So yeah. Started driving, but I am listening. Okay, well you be out there. Make sure you keep your eyes on the road. Don't you wrapped around anything. He flew into the hose water as I was watering. Well, I mean, I'm sorry about that, but hey, glad you made it to the beautiful place they call Alaska. It was. I love the mountains with the snow caps. GT. It was just absolutely awesome. All right, here they come. There go Nikki. What's up, baby girl? I heard somebody say young and tender today. I had to turn around. I was like, where's she at? Somebody was talking about some food. I was like, oh, okay. Hey, Robin Murphy, how are you? Oh, how are you? Thank you for stopping in this evening. Greatly appreciate everybody saying hello to one another. Nikki going down the checklist of all the folks. Would you say Elock Dish? Yes, indeedy. All the good folks there. Make sure y'all drop that MSOG. Let us know where your channel is, what state, and what's your grow zone. Yes, and lady. What time is it? Okay. Yeah. Um, I'm going to see. Well, I'm gonna copy. All right. See if anybody want to come up. All right. I can't remember how I did this before. Let me try it again. Oh, I can't remember how to do it. I wanted to drop. All right. All you IT folks in here, I forgot how to invite people up on SteelYard. I know I'm supposed to go up, SteelYard, hit copy, and then I know what I forgot. I gotta hit Control B. Gonna do it right. Oh boy, don't grow old. That's not what you cracked up. What was that? Was it Control B? Oh, there you go. If anybody want to come up and give me a scenario on what they're growing in their garden, what they doing, what's good in your life. Hey, Shakira, did you slide up in here and I didn't see you? Hey, Latrice. Hey, good evening. Yep, I did it. I had to stop and think. I was like, it's another step I'm missing. Come on up, Hudson. Come on up. Anybody, come on up. Let me know. Talk to me. Let me know that you like me just a little bit. Okay? Let me know what you're doing. Oh, the man from Alaska. I should have known better.
Hey there, hey there. So how was the temperature for you here?
It was nice. It was a little chilly that first when we left Seattle and we started going further out in the water, GT, it dropped like 30 degrees. You know, the further out we got, the colder it got. Cause we was sweating and partying like what on embarkment. But then everybody started pulling out hoodies and going to get knit hats and stuff and busting out the boots. And I was just like, what the hey?
Yeah. Did you get one of the Alaska little scully things with the little ball on it and stuff?
No, I got little no. I got a t-shirt and I got a hat and I was buying little stuff like that's what we saw. We saw some bald eagles. They was up in the trees. Them bad boys is huge. I didn't know bald eagles was that big. And we actually seen one swoop. He put his wings out and he swooped down and he snatched up a salmon out of the water and came up and went back up. I was like, oh snap. And then I was like, Dag, I could have been recording this. I didn't record none of it. I was like,
When if you whenever you come back up here, make sure you're ready because the more you venture out into Alaska, the more beautiful scenery you'll see. It
yeah.
always
Oh,
catches me when I'm here, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I stay is because I can't compare the scenery here, the environment to anything that I've ever experienced in my life. It's just so beautiful here.
tell me about it. GT. We were on the ship and the sun come up there like 4 o'clock in the morning. And we had a balcony cabin. We were sitting out on the balcony because we were going through icy straits, and the mountains was just awesome. I literally had tears running down my face. It was just awesome. It was so beautiful, and the water, and you could see where the water shifted from the top down, and it turned into a waterfall at the foot of it. I was like,
Yes, yes, yes.
"Oh, waterfalls!" I said, "Y'all see the water coming down?" Oh, GT, I was so glad we had a balcony cabin. It was just awesome. We was just out, and there was other ships that was out in the distance, and you could wave at them, and somebody blow a horn, and they wave back at you and stuff. We had like 4 or 5 in the port at one time. It's like
Okay, okay.
2,100 people on them on those ships, and
Wow.
yeah. They had this one ship that came in from Holland, and it had something like 4,000 people on it, and they were speaking German and Asian. They were speaking all kinds of languages. It was so many multicultural people coming off that ship. It was awesome though. But hey, David, I see you eased up in here too.
Hey,
Yeah, we saw
Janet.
whales. We saw
Hey,
whales. We saw what they call them, sea otters. Yep, yeah, and we saw a seal or two sitting up on top of an iceberg just sunning. Yeah, we saw a little bit of everything. But one day it got real choppy, and it was funny. I had my cane now because the ship was kind of rocking because the water was a little choppy. The winds got real high, and it was kind of rocking the ship. And at one point, it must have hit a hard wave, and all of a sudden I went. "Doo, doo, 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 doo." I look like one of the little kids.
that would be real interesting.
Mm.
And a scooter around scooter.
Yeah, it was
Oh
it was
wow.
it was people. It was a few of us that I wasn't one of them, but there was a few of them hit the floor. When they hit it, it's like to the side.
Hmm.
It was funny, but yeah. And we went to this one place that had the fresh seafood. They had lobster tails, like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe the size of those lobster tails and the shrimp and the scampies and the salmon. And oh, we went to that market where they tossed the salmon.
Yep.
Uh yep,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, somebody wanted one, and they was like, "Hey!" And then they picked it up and they tossed it across the. We went there too. So, yeah, we checked out a lot. But those mountains was just awesome. I mean, they looked like every port we was in, it looked like they just surrounded it. Was it Skagway? I really like Skagway. Skagway was nice. So yeah, I really enjoy. I would go back to Alaska again. That's the first time I ever went somewhere cold.
Yeah. It's kind of weird and funny. At the same time, when I was younger, I used to try to throw the rock to try to hit the mountains every day. I used to try to throw it, and I would work out to try to throw and hit the mountains because they look so close.
Yeah,
And the closer you get to them, like here in Anchorage, the closer you get to them, the closer you can actually see where it begins, and you can see the trees and all the different
yeah,
formations and everything.
yeah.
But that's nice that you actually got to see the snow on top of the mountains.
Oh
That's
yeah,
pretty
oh
cool
yeah.
there.
I
Yeah.
I even took a video with it. And at one point we were going through. We were heading towards Quechuan, and we were going through
Catch a
like
can.
Ketchikan. I said, thank you. I can't remember all them now. Ketchikan, and we were going through one narrow channel where it almost looked like you could reach off the ship and touch the mountains. And that's when we really got a good view of the waterfalls. And they had little beaches coming out from them too. And they had trees and stuff and on there. And I was like, oh my God, this ain't God's country. I don't know what it is. It was GT. It's certain spots I saw that I literally cried. It was just awesome. It was just too beautiful. I was like, I'll probably never see this again. And I could only see it in Alaska because I've traveled a lot and I've never seen scenery like that. It was just awesome. And we would go up on the top deck and we would whale watch. And we saw schools of whales, You see the little sprouts come up, a sprout of water come up, and then sometimes you'll see the tail come up and they'll splash and they go right back down. So yeah, some of them went on the excursion. We passed the helicopters for the ones who did the helicopters excursions, and then they had the other ones that went through the glaciers. And a few of my cousins and stuff, they did the snow dog sled going in there. But they had one excursion where all the crab and beer that you could drink.
So y'all really came and did it because the helicopter, that was one where I wasn't gonna do it. I don't like flying, and the helicopter I just wasn't willing to do that. But the seafood and all that, I'd experienced that before. But that's cool. Y'all got to see the snow dogs and
Oh
everything. That's
yeah,
what's
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah. The only thing I wanted to take an actual helicopter ride, but they wanted too much for that excursion. Yeah, that was
What, like 2,700 or something?
yeah, yeah. They wanted too much. Hey Mona, how are you, sweetie? Sister some soil and more. Thank you for coming in this evening. Yeah, and a lot of people complained about some of the prices was a little steep. Like it was an elderly couple. A lot of them there on their pensions and what have you. And he was like, they wanted 250 for me and 250 for my wife, and that's like $500, and we might not be out there but a half an hour or something, and right back in here. And he said, I can't justify paying that kind of money for an excursion. And I'm with him. You don't have to put me out there longer than a half hour for that kind of money. We're gonna be out there most of the day. But
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah,
those ports there,
Carnival
we was there
on
like early in
Carnival
the morning.
on Carnival, if you go on an excursion that you get through the ship, they will wait on you if something happens and you don't get back on time.
Yeah,
But if you do the excursion on your own
yeah.
and you're not back in time, then it's on you and you have to find your own way back to
Oh,
either the next port
we
or to the US.
yeah, we had a couple of them like that wasn't back on time, and you had more than enough time to get back. They wasn't back on time, and they had to catch them at the next port. Hey, you,
Oh,
Ro.
wow.
I was talking about you earlier in regards to the wet seasoning that you were doing. I was like for that rub, so I was like, okay, I got to try that because you put everything but the kitchen sink in that rub. Hey, GT, that rub that you Ro put together. I think she was trying to make a rub for what's that jerk chicken. So I was wondering.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. So you need to check out her video on that one. I thought that was quite interesting because she was going out there with some scissors and she was cutting up everything out of her garden.
Yeah,
Uh,
she got a lot of content, nice content.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I like the kitchen. Oh, you Ro, when you do your videos on all them gadgets you use for scraping out seeds and stuff and taking the core out that tomato, you got to tell us what those tools are and list them in the bottom of your videos because those look pretty handy though. They look pretty handy. So you got to give us up a little more info on that though. Lisa White says I went on a helicopter at Mount Rushmore. Woo, at Mount Rush. Mm. That ought to be something. Oh, GT, when we was coming in, what is that mountain in oh, shoot. Mount Rainier?
Hmm.
Oh my gosh. That blew my mind. We were flying in, and as we was landing, we saw Mount Rainier with all the snow caps and stuff on it. That was friggin' awesome. And we learned a lot about Seattle too. I didn't know anything about that foundation Bill Gates got up there, and that's where Starbucks got started. That's where
Oh,
oh yeah, it was. We went on a tour, and there's a whole lot of stuff that we didn't know that started up in Seattle. So yeah, okay, okay, that was Mount Rushmore. Okay, loved it, but a bit scary. Once was enough for me. Ah, well, I'm kind of a daredevil, but since my accident, going too high is I had to cut it off. Had to
yeah.
cut
The price of living is more up here versus the lower 48. So a lot of the things as far as gifts, trinkets, and things like that tend to have a bigger price tag. From what I've noticed, my mom and my sister came up here when I got married about 6, 7 years ago, and my sister gave me the little side eye, like, you really see this him? You see
yeah,
this, bruh?
yeah.
So yeah, the price tags can be a little outrageous for different events here in Alaska. And the glaciers, I don't know exactly where you went to see the glaciers, but the glaciers were really, really close to where you can actually in what 1991 when I first came up here, you can actually almost touch the glaciers because they were so close, but over time with erosion and
Yeah.
whatever else you want to think of, that's what happened. It receded a lot.
Okay. Yeah, well, it was a lot of people that were checking out all that stuff, but I like how they had shuttles so that would take you from the port where you got off the ship and took you into town, and they dropped you off, and it was like one lady we got to know, and it was like $5 round trip to go 250 one way and 250 the other way. So it was nice. So we met a lot of nice people, and they were very talkative and very informative in regards to about Alaska. These folks were well versed about the city that they lived in. And I met a couple of ladies same age as myself, and they were born and raised in Alaska. And one looked like she was already three sheets in the wind. Oh, but I took a picture of them. I did a video on them. I'll be dropping a video on them soon. But they were real nice, and they was telling us how they had left Alaska and went elsewhere and lived and worked, but then they came back home and said they would never leave again. And I was asking them about what do you do for when your electricity go out? And they said, they got generators, and they got stuff too for back up there. They're no different than the states when it comes to survival, but they know how to survive better up there than what we would know how to. And I was like, yeah, well, if you was born and raised here, you know your land. So yeah, it was nice. I met some really nice people. Oh, Nicole, hey Nicole Smith, we say you're listening while you're watering your garden. Yeah, it's been so cool here in Ohio. Um, it's 55 degrees here right now, and they talking about yeah, and they talking about 80 degrees tomorrow. So it's gonna be a lot of sick folks here. Helicopter trips are definitely more expensive in Alaska. Oh yeah, you got a lot more to see. And they were sending up like four helicopters at a time. One will leave one right behind the other. I was at the landing pad, and they were one right behind the other, and they leave together, and they come back together. So I was like, cool. So that,
Sounds like fun.
oh yeah, yeah,
One year I will do that. But nothing comes from the Gulf of Mexico all the way up there. And that's what I want. Gulf of Mexico, Panama Canal and up, but they don't do that.
yeah. Now, what I like about when we went to the botanical gardens, and what you call it? Catch a what did you call it?
Catch a can.
Catch a can. All right. They were showing us the salmon locks where they climbed the ladder to go up to spawn, and they were showing how these things were huge. I didn't know salmon was that big. These bad boys were gigantic. I was like, whoa, that's all good eating right there. Woo. Ah,
That
and it was
that's
showing.
why I took. Sorry.
Go ahead. They were showing how they were snatching certain ones out of the channel to check to make sure they didn't have any mercury in them, the safety of the fish. And they said that the natives there, they're the only ones who could fish for free. They didn't need a license. They can fish and eat as much as they want, but anybody else had to purchase a license, and you would be prosecuted to the fullest if you get caught without one.
Yeah, they don't play about that rule right there. It's about $60 to fish here, and that's just certain fish. To get kings and other things, there's an additional ticket that comes behind it, an additional fee that comes behind that. But it's substance. I forgot what it's called. It's like substance fishing or something like that. But yeah, they get the fish for free. It's their land and things like that.
Right, and
Yeah.
that's what they told me. They said they don't need a license or
Mhm.
anything. They said they can fish as much as they want and they can eat as much as they want. I was like, okay, well, y'all act like that's you doing them a favor. You know what I'm saying? This is their land. They supposed to be able to do that. I was like, wow,
Yeah,
how gracious is.
and yeah, and that was one of the reasons why I took off on Mondays is because if I go when I would have me and my dad we fell out a little bit, but we back good now. But Mondays was the day that I wanted to go dip netting with him, and that was where I can get 36 of the fish, and they're huge, like you said. They're bigger than a ruler,
Yeah.
and they're chunky. And if I would have got 36, I would have cut them all up. He would have showed me how to can them like he does. I would have had fish for the rest of the year, but it just didn't work out. But yeah, fish are it's a good substance here in Alaska because they're expensive if you buy them in the store.
Oh yeah, I looked at them prices. I was like, ooh, that that's a rare occasion for real. Hey, wellness with frugal mom. Yeah, and I was like, yeah, this is definitely a special occasion. I had to find out one of my Alaska friends and go out there and grab me one or two. Bring it over to me and hook it up. I got something for you. But they got they have the nation's fastest zip line. I'm not kidding. Them folks was doing 30, 40 miles an hour on that zip line. Yeah, and the line was way down there. And you could see them zoom. And it would almost like gunpowder at the end that they would hit to slow them down. They're moving that fast. Yeah, it sounds like somebody shooting off a cannon and guns on the end. I was just like, and they said they have made the world's fastest, longest zip line. It's new, and they were cutting down trees everywhere to add more zip lines and more sky cams and stuff. They had a lot of stuff going on.
Wow. Yeah, see, I'm scared of. I mean, I'm cautious. I'm not doing no zip line and then like that. I'm just not adventurous like that. But yeah, that's what's up there. Did you do it?
No. I've done a zip line now. When I was in Cancun, I climbed a 90-foot tower and I did 9 of them till I got to the bottom. So I've done parasailing. I've done all that stuff. I didn't got too old now. I don't do that stuff now, but been there, done that. Snorkeling and water jet ski and all that stuff. Yeah. So mm-mm. That's no big deal. I'm over it, but I'm not doing no 30, 40 miles an hour on a zip line. I like going to a certain speed. You can see the scenery and enjoy the ride. When you going 30, 40 miles an hour, you ain't seeing jack. It's just like no. That takes the fun out of it. It puts a big emphasis on the zip part, but I'm sorry, Janice. I didn't mean to ignore you, sweetie. It's just that I had got tied up in talking about Alaska GT because it was just so exciting. Yeah, I won't go Carnival again though. I like to stick it to my Royal Caribbean or Norwegian.
And the Kenai Fords is a nice tour as well, and it takes you different places. Besides where you were actually located, you can actually see the city of Anchorage. Anchorage is a big, beautiful city as well. It's not the capital. Juneau is the capital, but it's very,
Right.
very beautiful here. There's a lot of people. Every nationality probably in the world is here in Anchorage, and it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Okay.
If anybody wants to come up here, check out Kenai Fords as well. The food. How was your food on the ship?
I'll put it like this. I've had better. The lobster and the salmon was on point, but everything else, I've had better. I the first 3 days I sent my plate back, and then when it came back the second time, it's the way it should have been the first time I got it. Yeah. So yeah, once they finally got it right, I was good. But they had this one rum drink called Kiss My Lips. Oh, that was about the only thing they had on point. Yeah. You grow Rose said I love zip lining, and Diversity Love says zip line seems fun. It was fun. It was. I really enjoyed it when I did it. I really like parasailing though, because I could see Carson and a few other places when I was up there. I'm not scared of heights. I am now. Well, I'm not scared of heights. I'm scared of falling. I'll put it like that. Whole different scenario. Growing out the box. Hey, driving and listening. Please keep your eyes on the road. Yes, make sure you listen. Yeah, you can take pictures. You can take plenty of pictures. I was running out of room on my SD card. I was taking so many videos and pictures. I was taking a lot of stills because me and my sister was hanging a lot together and going inside the stores and stuff. Because she bought me the T-shirt Alaska with the bear on it, and I got the matching cap. I gotta have my caps, and I bought one. Actually, I got it right here. Uh-uh. I put them up. That's what I did. I put them up. Well, I had one right here that I bought for my new grandson, my granddaughter's husband, and I bought my great grandbaby her first stuffed animal. I bought a little polar bear from Alaska, and I bought my granddaughter some whale earrings. So they got the tail shape. Yeah. So I was like, yeah. So I got everybody a little something, something that I was like, I don't even buy my sister nothing. She with me. She can buy her own stuff. Yeah, but yeah, I got a little odds and ends stuff there. But I still can't get over how huge those bald eagles were. They were so big that you didn't really need a pair. I took my binoculars with me. You didn't need binoculars to see them. Them suckers was huge. And you saw that white crown up in the tree. You couldn't miss on what it was. And the closer you got to it, the bigger it looked like looked like it was growing. I was like, oh. And everybody was like, the plane, no, the bald eagle, the bald eagle. That was it was cool, GT. If I had a chance to do it all over again, I would. I would. That
Yeah,
was
um, that's a lot of the time. A lot of times I put stuff like that in my videos is because I see bald eagles every year, and it's like I see a few of them once a month, but I'm still amazed. And the moose and things like that, I see them every year.
I
But
wish I could have
I'm
saw a moose though.
oh, if you want to see one of
I
those adult males, oh my goodness.
A bull moose, yeah. I know
Oh
about.
yes, that's what it's called, a bull moose.
Oh, I know what they
Oh
are.
boy.
I just want to see one in person. Those things are
Oh
huge.
wait.
They are huge. No, but I never forget the first time I saw a video and you was talking and everybody was like, turn around because there was one, it was a moose behind you. That was funny. I was like, he don't even know it's behind. It was like, GT, turn around. Turn around.
I just moved in the area like 3 weeks before that. I went to New York for 2 of those weeks, and then all of a sudden we got back, and then I forgot who was doing the live, and then all of a sudden it popped up. I'm like, wait a minute, they telling me there's Moose behind me. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was shocking there. Yeah.
Are they aggressive?
They can be. Don't get between them and their babies.
Okay.
And besides that, they don't bother you. I got a video that I'm supposed to drop. It was supposed to been dropped 3 weeks ago, but you get up close and personal with it, and they don't bother you if you don't bother them for the most part. Now, sometimes they've been bothered with earlier, and they see somebody that looks familiar, and then they strike you because they'll kick you to sleep.
Oh,
They something serious. The moose
they
are
send you
something
to the upper
serious.
room, huh?
Yes, yes, they
uh,
will.
Benji TV. I don't think I've ever seen you here. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate you and joining our garden community. If you have a channel, um, or if you know your grow zone and the state you live in, drop it in MSOG. Let us know where we can locate you and come check out your goods and see what you're all about. Appreciate you coming in. Uh-huh. I see. First time here. So thank you so much for coming in this evening. All right. How'd you find me? That's something sometimes I want to ask. How do you find me? I know every now and then someone say African Dreaming show, shared you out or told me to come over, led sent me over, something like that. So yeah, how'd you find me? Because I don't think I've ever seen you in anybody else's chat. So you saying you knew, we welcome you with open arms. And everybody will be saying hello to you to let you know we're a friendly bunch, okay? So thank you so much for stopping in. But the weather there, it was nice when we got to the different ports. They said we were quite fortunate with the rain and high winds. They said it happened 2 days before we actually hit some of those stops, and then it hit after we left some of them. So we had sun all day. It wasn't too cold, a hoodie. Well, when we went on, only one place that we really needed a heavier coat, but for the most part, you would end up tying it around your waist because it was warmer it than it was. So yeah, it was nice. So it was perfect timing. Yeah.
Yes, y'all came on a perfect time because it has been raining, and I mean raining. The winds right now. I had to take another route. I'm headed to the second job, but I had to take another route because they didn't knock down power lines. So the power lines don't work over on that one street. So I had to zip through and go the other way so I could take my guy home and then head to my second job. And then yeah, it's a lot of rain and a lot of wind in these last 2 days, and we just got the sun today, so it's gone again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when we got back to Seattle, it was back to the heat again. We was in tank tops and shorts. But I'm just saying that constant up and down, up and down. Because like I said, when we first did the embarkment, we was sweating and hot. And then less than an hour or two later, it dropped 30 degrees. Everybody was running for hoodies and and long pants and jackets. Like, what the heck happened? And the further we got out in the sea, the colder they cool my foot, the colder it got. So yeah, I do it again. So GT, are you gonna stay there forever?
No, I've no. I love it here, but I want to move to I deserve to move to a warmer grow zone.
Okay.
I want to grow for the rest of my life
Yeah.
as far as fruits and vegetables and all that stuff. So I can't, it'll be more challenging here to do that. I can do it, but I don't know how much money I want to invest in that, knowing that, I might keep some property up here for my son, make sure he can't sell certain parts of it and things of that nature. But I want to grow. I think I want to grow zone 7. I think grow zone 7 is perfect. And so, I mean, different, it's going to be different in different states or whatever, but
Right.
being able to grow leafy greens and then have, grow melons of different sorts. I think that's very, very, I need that in my life.
Okay.
I'm tired of the fruits and vegetables that we have. The fruits actually are terrible here.
Mm.
Oh,
What, they don't have flavor or excuse me, what?
they're flavorless. They're full of. That's what started me to grow food. Is I bought a honeydew melon. The melon tastes like a little sweet water. It didn't have any flavor. It wasn't sweet. So I wanted to take it back to the store because I felt like somebody tricked me into buying it.
Oh wow.
But I had already cut it up and everything, and I had it all looking nice and everything in the bowl, about to sit down and watch my little I forgot which show. It was probably Harlem Nights or something like that. I was about to watch my little show and eat my little melons and stuff. I'm like, what's this? It was lackluster all the way.
They don't
And the next
import
thing,
any fruits and vegetables there?
yes, but it's gross. It's
Where are
not
they importing it from?
probably the lower 48, but now we have more infrastructure. The infrastructure, they're growing it hydroponically. Hydroponic is not the best when it comes down to um, natural, but it's sustainable, especially here. You use less water. There's a lot of things when it comes down to hydroponics, but it's a little bit better than it was before because we have more varieties. In the beginning, we didn't have as many varieties as we have now. The fruit, 2 days after you have it in your house, it would go bad. It was just a lot of things that were flawed here. Things have made it better, but this is why I'm trying to grow melons of all sorts, is because I deserve better.
Yeah. Mm. Nikki said come to Maryland.
Melons seem cool though, but I do need a grow zone 7. In 5 years, I have enough equity into my home to where I can, look at things a little differently. But until then, I'm just gonna look at everybody because some people still can grow right now. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
seen you had stuff all on your balcony and everything. I can't do that. It's right now it's 67 degrees, but this is a fluke right now. Right now it would be getting colder. But I want better.
Yeah.
I love everything. I love a lot of things about Alaska, but I want more. So
Okay.
yeah.
I kind of figured that when you broke out with what you got, like 3 or 4 grow tents inside your garage, you got chickens and stuff. So you've already made it known in regards to just how serious you are about growing and getting certain stuff together, but you don't have this the space and whatever else you need in order to really bust a move. And you don't have you have what you call a super short growing season. So therefore it's hard for you to really get enthusiastic about growing stuff when you don't have a lot of time to grow it in. So I figured that's why you're so good in doing hydroponics.
Yeah, it would take a lot more infrastructure to grow the way I want to. Like I have bananas in my garage growing. I have a banana tree. I have 2
Okay.
of them,
Okay.
but I want them to be 6 feet, 7 feet, 8 feet
Yeah.
tall and bloom and actually grab a whole bunch of bananas. I want to experience that. I'm not. I got a long way to go to be able to produce something like that.
Well,
So
Nikki, the
yeah.
host, Nikki, the OCD chick has said that you need to come to Maryland. She's giving you a
Yeah.
place to go.
Yeah. I it, I don't know. Zone 7 I think is perfect. Texas is too super duper 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 hot.
Right.
And Arizona I would not even visit
Oh
there. So
no,
those are out of the question.
that's like
So
120 in Arizona.
I can't do that. That's too extreme there.
I don't know how people in Arizona do it.
How can they go to work? It's 122. When I was in Georgia, it would be 102, 102, 107, something like that. And by the time you go from your house, to the car, you're sweating already. So
Yeah, but your
I
car
can't
got
imagine
to be under some
122.
kind of cover because if it's sitting out in the sun, you can't even get in your car. That's like walking into an oven. You baking yourself. You on go 475. Forget 450. You're on 475, 500. You know, you can't even get the steering wheel. You're going like this here, you know, like Nah. My niece is in Surprise, Arizona, and she's like, you literally can cook an egg on the sidewalk, you know, and I'm just like,
Oh, wait.
nah,
Yeah, that's a little too high for me.
that's
I
not
can't
even
do it.
human. Yeah. Socks in the garden. Thank you for stopping in. You driving too? Please keep your eyes on the road. If you got ear pods or you do through your phone through your car, okay, just be careful. um,
Yeah.
Diversity Love says she'll send you a link to a video of a man in Norway who grew super huge banana plants.
All right. Thank you, Diversity Love. I appreciate that. I know it's possible because I've seen little videos here and there of people doing certain things, but you got to have a little bit more bread.
Yeah.
I'm just now getting my grown man legs up under me. I've been doing things a little differently. So, you know, I got to get a little bit more and then I'll be able to do more. So, but yeah, please send it to me, Diversity. I appreciate that.
Hey, Anne-Marie. How are you, daughter? Glad to see you made it today. Angela Gardening Delight says, facts, and don't you dare have leather seats. Oh, I wouldn't even think of having leather seats in that car. Oh, no, that's like melting. You know, it's like, I'm melting. Nah, you peel off your leg and peel half your leg still sitting there on the, Angela said, I don't blame you. Arizona is north of hell.
I
Yeah,
think that's where she stay at.
that's pretty doggone hot.
Yeah.
That's pretty doggone hot. Benji TV, yeah, and what they say, Tobago. Okay. Thank you, Broke Farmer, for referring. Yeah. Okay. Cheryl says, right, Angela. I left Arizona in 95. Yeah, she said Cheryl said it was even too hot for her. So she got to go somewhere else. Yeah. Baby steps.
Mm. All right, Miss OG. I came up here. I'm gonna get to work real quick. Got to make this second job money real quick. So I'm about to head over
Hey,
there.
thank you for coming in and hanging with me. I only got about 8 more minutes anyway, and my 2 hours is up. I'm
Well,
tired.
I appreciate you. It just sounds like there's nobody that I connect. I don't know many Alaska people that I actually, that I can have a conversation with. So
Okay.
just to hear you talking about it, it just made me feel all good because I am here right
Oh,
now and I get to experience this beauty every day. So
yeah.
I appreciate you coming up here and I appreciate you allowing me to come up on your panel. I
Oh, well,
appreciate you.
thank you for taking the time out and coming up and discussing with me because I don't think it's anybody else in the chat that could do that but you.
Yeah, it does kind of make sense. But
Yeah,
thank you.
so
You have a good one.
that makes it nice to be able to relate. So you have a good
Yes,
one.
ma'am.
Be careful
You
and you
too.
have a good evening. All right.
You too. All right.
Bye bye. All right, y'all. Before I leave up out of here, I got about 7 more minutes. If y'all want to do that last ditch effort of dropping your channel and your state and grow zone, and the next time I see you guys, I want to know, have you sat down yet, or are you going to wait till the winter months to plan your garden for next year? I know people are dropping seeds now for their fall garden, but have you looked past your fall garden? Because I know a lot of people are catching a lot of these seed sales and they're selling out like nobody's business. So I'm wondering if it's something new that you're trying or something you already have. Stay indoors and all that heat. Okay. Yeah. Have you actually started mapping out your stuff? Yeah, Mike, that was. Yeah, that was a fun conversation. Mike, I know you and I at the beginning of the year we were almost having a contest and on who could purchase the most seeds. I think you got me after that last round of seeds. And then I notice you're always getting seeds from somebody, whether it's hot peppers, because we know how you like your peppers, or tomatoes. Mike, I wonder, is there any veggie that you haven't tried yet that you want to, just to see if you can, in your hydroponics? And by the way, your backyard is gorgeous. I love all the flowers you got back down here and all your little grow bags that you have it surrounded by. What you say, God's desire for me? Definitely planning ahead. All right. Planning summer garden. Okay. I am planning for a year round garden because it's indoors. I just got a 10-pack of LED LED lights. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's my next item once I get it together, that I want to buy some more indoor lights, because right now my Meyer lemons, even though they didn't fruit, they're almost 4 times the size that they were before I originally put them out there from this past winter. So the area that I'm putting all my plants that needs to be overwintered inside, excuse me, that area has increased ginormously because my banana plants, not trees, have doubled, tripled almost in size. They need to be divided because they're two pups in the same pot. They're huge. My Meyer lemons are huge. My figs right now, my Chicago fig, before I just showed you, it had like about 4 to 6 figs on it. Well, it's got close to 15 figs on it now. It's been really blowing up. And now that the weather's warming up this week, I hope I can get a couple of them to ripen before our temperatures drop and start going crazy again. The other figs didn't do anything. They got bigger. They didn't die. They got bigger. And my Miwok kumquat, it got bigger, but it didn't fruit either. So with our weather going up and down and not being consistent, I think that it might had some effect as far as the growth on my tropical stuff. So right now I'm trying to set up an area big enough for everything to fit in. Hey Cece, I was talking about you earlier, but you was with Miss T. I was laughing about how you can grow pak choi and bok choy, but you can't grow spinach. Oh, socks in the garden. I'm glad you got home safe and sound. Good deal. Yes, show its diversity. Yeah. So no, 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 no. We glad you weren't. We know you wasn't ignoring us. You said you was driving, so we wanted you to keep your eyes on the road till you got where you had to go. We figured you'd come back. If not, we'll catch you on somebody else's live. You'll make up for it one way or the other. So that was not an issue. Oh, okay, G Mama. I'm getting ready to get up off here in a minute. I got 2 more minutes and I'll have my 2 hours in. This is my first day back after my nice long break, which I really enjoyed. And thank you guys for being understanding. And thank you guys once again. And I will put it in my community page for all the prayers that you sent my way for my great granddaughter. She's home. She's no longer on a feeding tube. She's feeding on her own. She's picking up weight and she's doing so much better. But I'm not going to go around her just yet until I'm finally finished with all this congestion and stuff. I will not put that baby in any compromising position of getting sick. So I miss her, but my granddaughter's been sending me pictures and updates of my little woman. So I just can't wait to hold her in my arms again and do the great grandma stuff, same way I did grandma. The cooing and the kissing and the hugging and just that that new baby smell, like the new car smell, that milk. Oh. So everybody's into the hydroponics now, and it's getting ready to blow up. Yep, Mike, you got you and JT, GT. Oh, got everybody in this hydroponics this fall when the weather changes and folks really get down with the get down. Wow, it's going to be awesome to watch you guys battling it out. Battle it out. Yep. Thanks, Socks in the Garden. I really appreciate it. All right, y'all. I'm going to say, like John Boy, good night, Elizabeth. Good night, Nikki. Good night, Mike. Good night, Socks in the Garden. Good night, God's Desire for Me. Good night, CC. Good night, GT. Good night, Angela. Good night, G Mama Grows. Good night, Bayou Sugar. Oh, my. And good night, Lala. Good night, K Gill. Thank you, everyone, for coming in this evening. And Blue Lotus again, thank you for this shirt. Show me that you like me just a little bit. It's greatly appreciated. I'll be back next Thursday. Same bat time, same bat station. 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And as I always say, love you all. Y'all come back now. You hear?